you end up paying back 75 to 95% of the debt. I mean, you just end up paying back more.
How do you know if you need debt settlement or maybe bankruptcy, and what's the difference? We'll find out the answers to those questions and much more when we Ask the Lawyer. Hi, everyone. I'm Judy Maggio with AskTheLawyers.com, and my guest today is Dallas attorney David Shuster. A quick reminder before we get started, if you want to ask questions about your specific situation, go to AskTheLawyers.com. At the top of the page, click on the Ask a Lawyer icon, and it will walk you through that process. David, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
My first question is a simple one. What is the difference between debt settlement and bankruptcy?
Sure. Yeah. Debt settlement is just settling, just like it says. I mean, I like to say debt defense in debt settlement. So, it just depends if you have a debt that you can actually, defend. Sometimes you defend a debt case that's filed against you. So defending and settling debts is one way to handle things. You're in the driver's seat along with your attorney, and so you have a little bit more control over things. There is no automatic stay, so you do get those debt claim lawsuits filed. In a bankruptcy, you have an automatic stay, so you don't get any lawsuits filed. No creditor can call you or contact you. And while you are in the driver's seat still, you're subject to the rules that apply in bankruptcy about, how much property can you own, how much income can you have, how much debt can you get rid of. The good news is I handle both of these things. And so you kind of look at the bankruptcy rules and see how much you could benefit in that direction. And if you could benefit more with debt settlement, then that's where you go.
So what are some specific situations where debt settlement would make more sense than Chapter 13 or Chapter 7?
Well, debt settlement would make more sense than bankruptcy if you're going to lose a piece of property, or if you just own something like a rental property. Usually people that are in the situation where they're trying to get rid of debt don't have like liquid cash in the bank. However, it does sometimes happen where, you get an inheritance and you do have these creditors over there. And so, you definitely need debt settlement there so you can kind of maximize your inheritance and get rid of your debt. So debt settlement makes sense over bankruptcy, so you can stay in control and you don't lose any assets, and you can deal with the creditors directly yourself rather than through bankruptcy where, you might lose something and you might end up paying back all of the creditors, which you want to avoid because it just is not good for your household dollar.
I've seen ads for debt settlement companies that do offer legal services. So are these legitimate?
I'm not going to say they're all illegitimate. However, the ones that I've looked at, every time I look at those, you end up paying back 75 to 95% of the debt. I mean, you just end up paying back more. They're going to cost you more. They sound good. They've got good marketing, good websites, good commercials. But the problem is when you peel it back, it's, I frequently will get contacted by people who have tried these programs. And like I said, every single time it's, if you do the math on it, it's not good. I mean, they charge higher fees. They're not licensed attorneys, obviously. They might, if they claim to be, like you said, legal debt settlement companies with lawyers, it's, they'll refer out something to an attorney who may or may not have your best interests in mind if you didn't go hire this person. So the bottom line is they end up costing you more money. I mean, if you just have a little bit of debt, not that much, you've got 5 different creditors, $10,000 total, it might make sense. But if you can find a licensed attorney like myself that will look at all of your options, and that someone that you can come in the office and sit down with or talk to locally, that's going to be a better direction to go. It's going to save you money in the long run.
So can you try to settle a debt yourself, do that your own way, or is it better to hire an attorney? What's the difference?
You're going to be better off hiring an attorney simply because the percentage of discount on the debt to get it settled is going to be higher. It may be similar sometimes if you're, some people, my clients have background as debt collectors, everyone's different. And if you're not employed or something, then maybe you have a lot of time. It's going to be time consuming. And ultimately, you're not going to be any worse off by getting an attorney involved. You shouldn't. If we do the math on paying the fees and ask the attorney what kind of percentage he or she expects to settle, you're just going to save money, and you're going to save stress and time by hiring a professional to come do it. It's the bottom line.
This has really been very helpful information. We so appreciate your time today, David.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Judy.
Well, that is going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyers. My guest has been Dallas attorney David Shuster. Also, don't forget, if you want to ask some questions about your specific information and your situation, just go to AskTheLawyers.com. Click the Ask a Lawyer button at the top of the page. It is easy and it's free. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm Judy Maggio with Ask the Lawyers.